We get back at it on Kansas Sports Chatter as we bring in our next guest, and that's going to be Jamie Harvey. She is the head coach of the Rock Hills golf team, and been great seasons, been a great run over the last few years for you and your coaching duties. But for you, like this time of the year, coach, like what are you trying to work on? Like especially with state just right around the corner, like what are you trying to work on here toward the end?
I think, well, it's kind of a unique situation having stayed at our home course. So just, perfecting some of those holes that give the kids fits every once in a while, trying to see if we can't lower that score for each hole. I think here down the stretch, that's a lot of focus on that, a lot of focus on the short game, because I think that's where we make up a lot of strokes if we can.
So you mentioned your course. Like, what are some? What are there? I guess areas that cause fits for everybody. They're kind of universal, or just for individual basis.
I think it's individual basis, just kind of our layout. Also, some of the holes, especially par threes, can be a little deceiving. They look closer than they really are. Um, the long holes, there's not a lot, some of them, not a lot of room for air in the back at the green area. So you got to be pretty precise on those certain holes. But yeah, we've got probably one of the better, probably being biased, but one of the better sand green courses across the state. So hopefully we can get a little bit of rain before we have state to kind of green it back up again. But looking forward to it.
Yeah, when you get notified that you're going to host state, I mean, I know those well in advance, but what's kind of like your reaction? Do you kind of have a good idea, like the rotation of when you might be able to host?
Yeah, we haven't hosted for quite, I mean, in my 8 years, this is the first year we've hosted. Now they've hosted in the past. So there's done a little bit of rotation. We've never expressed interest. I didn't really know how that process worked. But I know my seniors that are seniors this year, they asked if we wanted to host last year and they really wanted to do it on their last year. So we got it worked out. So we had it on their last year. Um, and potentially maybe the last state sand greens ever. So
Yeah, you talk about that. The last year for the sanctioned sport, at least as of now. So, like, what's the future hold? I guess for Rock Hills golf going forward after this year.
it's a tough topic because I hope that maybe with enough fight and pull from some people that um, we could maybe still keep it. I think it'll take a lot, but if it doesn't, and we have to end up doing postseason with grass, um, uh, it's going to be hard. I mean, we'll have to talk to some surrounding schools. I have some connection a little bit with a course just north of us in Nebraska. See what their thoughts are on potentially if we have to come up and just work on the short game. The short game
Sure.
is the biggest part. Um, so hopefully, if it comes to that, we have the access to that. Now, if we don't, I mean, we're at a disadvantage, and it's kind of sad for these kids if it were to come to that, because that postseason play is going to be difficult. It's going to be hard to get through a regional when those 1 to 3A kids are practicing on a grass green all the time. So a lot of challenges. I'm glad there's a year here to work through all that stuff.
When you look at your schedule, like how many, I guess, like sand greens are you scheduling? Obviously, your home one, but like, and then how many grass greens are you scheduling as well, just in your regular season?
Yeah, right now we've between the AD and I, we've kind of fluctuated out some of the sand greens to the grass. So as of right now, I think we have potentially three um, so far out of the eight that they can compete in. A couple of them are toward the end of the schedule, which I think will help us if it comes to that or whatever, to prepare for that regional type place. And that's another thing that they're not used to either. Sand greens is a lot different. You qualify through a score. And yes, you're qualifying through a score at regional, but I mean, in the sand greens, you can qualify at any time and you make it to state. So that'll be another a different hurdle to get over when we get to that point next year.
Jamie Harvey joining us here, the head coach of the Rock Hills golf team. What do you like about sand greens? Like, I know you grew up in the area, but what stands out about sand greens that you enjoy?
I think it's just unique. It's a whole different style of golf. I mean, I play both in the summer and summer tournaments myself. Um, it's just a different style, and you have to have a different mindset of, especially the short game, getting to the green, from 100 yards in. And it's just, I mean, I think that's how golf started, from my understanding, was from sand anyway. So it's cool to just keep that long tradition of the game going.
How forgiving are those sand greens? Like, so like you're getting close. Like, I mean, is there a good bounce on those, or what have you
Well,
noticed?
a lot of courses are completely different. Some courses have a pretty thick layout, some don't. So that's also, when you go to play these, you have to really start getting, takes you a couple holes to get used to it, because not every green is the same. But some courses have thicker sand, some is thinner. And once you get used to that, your chipping game will change, but not a whole lot.
Your seniors, how many seniors did you have? Did you say?
I had three.
Okay. So like
Yeah.
what's it been like just watching them grow up, over the last few years, especially the ones that have been there for, they've been involved with that program for all those 4 years.
Yeah, it's always bittersweet to see. This is actually my first set of kids that I've actually seen from freshman year to senior year. So really bittersweet to see them go. They will be missed. We still have a pretty good group coming in after them, but they've represented our school so well. They've brought the program to where it's at right now. Big factors in our success this season too.
Yeah, you talk about the success you've had. You talk about the top teams that over and over, especially in the sand greens. I mean, Rock Hills is right up there. Like, what have you noticed? Guys are just pumping out good golfers year in and year out. But what have you noticed kind of that has added to that success?
I think just the buy-in of being a really good golfer. I mean, they spend a lot of time out there during the summertime, staying after practice later than what most kids do, and just really, those seniors this year have really wanted to do well at state, and so being at our home course helps that too. And so they're really, really, really putting in the work to be better golfers. And the sport's just growing. It's so popular now that more kids want to be good at it.
Yeah, or most of the kids that are arriving and that you're coaching, have they played golf prior to high school, or are you getting some that maybe that's the first time they're picking up a club?
More kids have played before they've gotten to high school. I've been myself and a few other teachers in the district we started a youth golf camp last summer. We had between first grade and eighth grade kids. I think we had like 30 kids come out. We're doing it again this summer, and we got about the same number, a few extra. So yeah, I mean, even at the young age, these kids are wanting to really get into it, which is really cool to see, and that helps for our program as they decide, are you going to do track or golf when you get to high school? So.
What are some of the main things you're trying to get across as, like, say, a first grader or a second grader that's getting into golf? Like, what are some of those main topics?
Just hit the ball.
Yeah, that's
And
important.
mostly is just, can you make contact with the ball? And that's, to me, is probably the most important thing. If you can make contact with it later in your later years, we can change some different things, but as they grow, but yeah, I think as long as they can hit the ball, it keeps them pretty entertained. So.
For your high school students, like, how much are you tweaking, like, in the season? So if you notice something, maybe it's about their swing or whatever it may be, their mechanics, like, are you messing with that in the season, or is that something you do after the year's over?
My assistant and I really push, the first few weeks to really, really hone in on the skill of your swing. Um, a month or so in, probably still kind of looking at it. There's probably still some kids that need some work on it, but by now, in the last few weeks, I don't want to change a whole lot. I mean, they know kind of especially the seasoned ones, they know what they're doing wrong. But for the younger kids, probably, I mean, mostly for the younger kids, we're still trying to work through different mechanics clear throughout the season until they figure it out. And then, yeah, anytime summertime, if they're wanting to practice more, we usually try to get with them as much as we can.
Hey, Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That is Jamie Harvey, head coach of the Rock Hills Golf Team. We'll have more of the show right after this.